Hi everyone, we're here with another success story. Do you suffer with any type of lung disease, COPD, emphysema, IPF, idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis? Well, we're sharing another success story with our patient Alice. Alice, why don't you tell everybody what you came to us for and how we've helped you?
Well, I was to the point that I needed a lung transplant.
She needed a lung transplant. Yes, that's huge. And you were in rough shape. You look so much better now. My only wish is like the first day you came in here, so we could have shown people how bad you looked, and I'm sorry to say that, but how good you look now compared, and you were breathing heavy, and you're on oxygen, and she's not on oxygen right now, but you still use it a little bit.
Yes.
So I'll let you continue. I'm notorious for interrupting these things, but yes, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, I was really, really tight. I couldn't bring up the junk in my chest.
Right. So it was COPD.
Right.
We should let everybody know that.
And
so you were coughing up and you couldn't get it up.
Right.
Couldn't get up the phlegm,
Right.
Yes. Okay.
And I found that, and I used what they call a flutter valve, and that would loosen it, but I would get to the point that I would get headaches.
Right.
From just really blowing into it to loosen it up.
Yeah.
And now I still use that. It helps, it makes it a lot easier to
Right.
cough it up.
Right.
But no, it's a lot easier, and I don't have it way down in my chest. It's just like right here.
Right.
And
you look, seriously, you look so much better. Do you think her daughter's off camera, refuses to go on camera, which her other daughter found me on the internet,
right.
Kathy.
I was going to say that.
Yes.
I had asked her that I had seen something about stem cell when it come to the point where they were saying that I needed a lung transplant, that I was in stage 4. And that just scared the heck out of me, just for the fact of all the anti-rejection drugs.
Oh, yeah.
I heard that it's like a 9x13 pan of anti-rejection drugs that you have to take.
Well, that, and the dirty little secret with lung transplant is the average patient only lasts an extra year or two. It's not this 5-year, 10-year thing that they're telling people. And yet there are pulmonologists, as you know, who tell lung disease patients, oh, don't do stem cell. It's too experimental. It doesn't work. Blah blah blah.
Well,
all of this.
I will say that my pulmonologist and my primary care doctor
They were
both. They were very, very supportive about it.
Good. That's
And,
one of the few.
They just said, we really hope it helps you.
And it has.
Yes,
but
has,
it's just not stem cell, is it?
No, it's
blood work.
the blood work
Yeah.
and taking the
Remedies
supplements,
and the supplements. Yeah.
Yes.
It can't be. It has to be all the other testing.
Right.
Because we've had people who have been to other places. I keep preaching it all the time. It doesn't help them. I had a guy spend $90,000 cash down in Panama, no help. And then he's mad at me. I'm like, I didn't go to Panama 3 times at $30,000 a throw. I understand you're upset, but that's not my fault. I didn't do that. You did.
No, the blood work was, and I had also seen on Facebook, I was telling Dr. J yesterday that I had seen on Facebook someone talking about stem cell, and I had texted them, and they were going to have a seminar, and asking them, do they do the blood work? Well, what do you mean blood work?
Yeah,
and,
why do you need blood work?
And it was, so I just, but, he took all kinds of blood work, and the PRP, that is
PRP is huge. So we take platelet-rich plasma, and we have the patients nebulize it, and they can do that at home. They can do the homeopathic remedies at home. So we're clearing toxins and infections. And you've said that's helped you.
Yes.
So it's all these things, folks. It's not one thing, it's everything. And that's why the reason stem cell therapy alone doesn't work is because of inflammation. So patients like yourself loaded with inflammation. When we, and I went over this with you, and I go over the blood work with everybody. Your blood work had a lot of stuff going on. I won't get into specifics because of patient privacy, but you had a lot of stuff going on.
Right. Even to the point I was anemic. I didn't even know that.
Right. Yeah, and it's amazing how physicians aren't looking, like they're only looking at your lungs. They're not looking at your liver or your kidneys or whether the fact you're absorbing food. You had low HCl, you're not absorbing your food. So you could eat a perfect diet, an anti-inflammatory diet, but if you're not digesting the nutrients, it's not doing you any good.
But the supplements I take, they're for my lungs, they're also
Yeah.
for my kidneys, and prior to that, I was on, and I had never been on potassium
Yeah.
or Lasix, and all of a sudden, last January, my doctor put me on potassium and Lasix, and I was getting cramps in my legs, I felt cramped all the time,
Right.
so many different side effects.
Right.
So I finally talked to him and said, well, can you check my blood work and can I try clearing off
Right.
of this? Well, I did, but this is really, I mean, I feel a lot better.
That's
so
great.
much better.
You look so much better. I mean, I'm not being facetious, and I don't mean to belabor the point, but seriously, when you first came in, you were one of those patients where I first thought, and I didn't communicate this to you, I'm like, I hope she makes it through all the treatment. Because we've had patients who, they'll sign up for care, and we won't even get to the first round and they've passed away. We've had about a half dozen patients like that, and 3 of them were COPD. I mean, we had a gentleman from Madison, this is last February, came up and paid us on a Thursday, and he passed away the following Thursday. It was crazy. That's how bad it was.
My breathing was at like 30%.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. And you were your color is back. And that's a great thing, because when I first saw you, you were very ashen and really kind of.
Everything was an effort.
Yeah,
Everything
that's
was
a
an effort.
perfect way to put it. It was an effort.
Yeah,
And your husband is still, helping you out with it,
He's
and
been-
he got you over
My
it.
family has been so supportive. They've been awesome.
Even the daughter who doesn't want to be on camera with us. She-
They've been.
But you've noticed a change,
Yes,
haven't you?
I've noticed a change. I've even noticed she used to get migraines all the time as well.
Oh, I forgot about
And
that.
she doesn't seem to get
No.
those
Yes.
as much as she used to.
Well, the reason you're getting migraines is the brain needs 2 things to survive: fuel and activation. Fuel is oxygen and glucose. If you're not getting enough oxygen, that's where the migraines come in. So, yeah, I forgot all about that. Thank you for the
I
reminder.
would get numbness and everything. And it
When she
just-
first came here, like when they started talking about lung transplant, honestly, I was worried she wouldn't even make it off the table for lung transplant.
Yeah, I agree. Well, like I
all
said,
for it.
I was being generous when I said a year or 2.
Yeah.
You're right. There are a lot of people that don't survive a lung transplant. And, I'm going to say it the way, you guys know me, I call it the way I see it. Transplantation, whether it's lung, kidney, liver, that's where the big money is.
Yeah.
They literally push people into transplantation because that's huge. I mean, we're talking billions of dollars every year. And that's not your option. So when I have pulmonologists, and I'm glad yours wasn't like this, but when I have pulmonologists attacking me, saying that this is a scam, you can't heal your lungs, you can heal your lungs, but it takes more than stem cells. It really takes a whole
Right, it's the whole package.
yes,
for
a holistic approach.
sure. Yeah.
But thank you for the migraines, because I forgot about that. That's huge. Because I remember you asking me, are you going to do anything about these migraines? And I go, we'll get to it. Yeah.
One step at a time.
Yes, exactly. Your mother can be a little demanding at
No.
times. What about this?
Well, I'm sorry. I just wanted to feel better.
You
and I
did.
do.
No, and
I do.
I'm just kidding around, you know that. But I remember specifically the one time you go, I need more drops. I need more drops. They're helping me. I need more. I'm like, I'll get them to you. She's talking about the remedies. Yeah.
Right.
Yes. And so and honestly, it's going to take a few more protocols with the remedies. I mean, we're just starting with that. And that's the beautiful thing, is we still have a ways to go here. So, I mean, you came to us in November. It's now February. You've made some great changes. And I want to say this, because a lot of other patients may have this. You have a sulfa allergy.
Right.
So you have to be careful, because umbilical cord stem cells are preserved in DMSO, in sulfur. So you have to really take it slow to make sure there isn't a reaction. So we started off with just 5 million stem cells, then we went up to 10 million, and now we've just given you 20 million stem cells. So I expect to see the next time you come back, even greater changes. But in some cases, no two people are the same, so we just can't bombard you.
Right.
In which she got on me about that. She goes, "Hey, I only got this much the first time. What about this?" I'm like, "We're gonna take care of you. I promise.
Yeah.
I'm aware of it. I'm doing
So
it for
you
you."
gave me this many injections this time. Does that mean the total is 4? Do I get more? I go, no, I think it's 4 times to the clinic.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. So it's like anytime Alice calls me, it's like I gotta be on my A game. I can't.
Well, part of it is, you start to feel better.
Right.
And
You want more.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Even
totally
that,
get
you
it.
feel that little bit of difference.
Oh yeah.
And,
Yeah. There's hope, right?
yeah.
Whereas before there wasn't hope.
Yeah. I mean, for 2 years, I had so many bad days.
Did you?
So many. And I didn't leave the house.
So bad days in that you just weren't feeling well?
Right. I was wheezing all the time, wheezing. And
Yeah.
I would do a breathing treatment.
Yeah.
And those make you shake so bad.
Right.
And
Nothing
the
was helping,
inhalers.
really,
Yeah,
honest.
nothing.
Like she could hardly walk around the house without
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have some lung patients, they can't even take a shower.
yeah.
I mean, that's
Oh,
how
I was
bad.
to that point.
Were you?
Where, it was really difficult. I mean, I had to rush, and then if you rush, you're not breathing right. So
Right.
it's just a vicious circle. But
Right.
yeah, it was to the point, my husband had to help me. It was
Right.
just, even washing my hair, I would let him wash it over the sink as
Yeah.
opposed to,
Right.
everything is such an effort. And
Right.
when I started feeling better, and I mean, I can take a shower and it's not, how long in the shower?
She was in the shower
Yeah.
forever last night. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, shit.
yeah.
Oh,
So
great.
it's just so good to be able to just take your time and not
Yeah.
rush and just
Yeah.
and I've had even a collapsed lung because I've coughed so much.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was about 2 years
2
ago.
years, I say
Yeah,
2 or
it'll
3
be
years
2
ago.
years this March.
Yeah.
And now you are getting out of the house.
Yes,
And,
yes.
and you are doing
Not in
better.
this kind of weather,
Oh,
but
Well, no,
We're
we're getting
going
it.
to breakfast
We're getting a
after
foot of snow. We're in Appleton,
We're going to
but you're
breakfast
from
after
Michigan.
we-
It's
yeah.
not that much
It's-
different.
The roads were not that bad.
No, I mean
honestly.
I'm from Upper Michigan. This is like 4th of July in the Upper Michigan. It's a foot of snow. What's new?
I was telling
But-
the receptionist out there, at least they're plowing the snow as
Yeah.
it's snowing. In Michigan, they'll wait till they're done and say, maybe we should go out and plow now.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
That's what they're doing. They used to do that up in the UP. They'd plow as it snowed, but they don't do that anymore. No, they wait till it's all done
Right.
and then they go out. So anything else you'd like to add? We want to follow up with you. I mean, this is what's giving other people hope. Just like you said, Kathy found us, and let's get this going. I remember when she first contacted me, and she had like a laundry list of questions, because that's
Right.
Kathy, who obviously takes after her mother, right? And so I thought I answered them pretty well, and obviously I did, because you're here, and the main thing is you're getting better,
Yeah.
and that's all that counts. So thank you for doing this. Thank you for helping others, and we'll check you the next time you're here.
Oh, also, you
Yes.
have to follow the diet.
Thank
That
you.
helps a lot. It really helps.
It's an
a lot.
anti-inflammatory diet. You're right. You cannot be eating at McDonald's or Wendy's,
Which I never
or
did
Arby's.
anyway.
Right, but we have people that do.
Yeah, but like you have to. What was hard for me was cutting out the grains. Well,
Yeah.
I had toast like every morning or cereal.
Right.
And now I eat fruit.
Right.
But it's helped.
It
It's
has
really
helped.
helped.
It's an anti-inflammatory diet, and that's the key. So people say, well, what are your qualifications to become a patient? That's the number one qualification. If you're not willing to change your lifestyle,
Yeah.
we can't help you.
Right.
We have people, believe it or not, presenting to us with COPD who are still smoking.
Yeah, there was
That
one
just
when I
boggles
was-
my
yeah.
mind. Okay, it's like you haven't quit smoking and you want us to help you, and when we are not able to help you because you're smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day, that's not going to work. And it was one thing probably when you were younger. I remember with my mom; she was a heavy smoker. It was like 50 cents a pack. Now it's $7.50, $8 a pack of cigarettes.
Right.
That alone should be incentive to
Right.
quit smoking.
And I quit smoking over 15 years ago.
15,
it's-
and you still ended up. Did you have COPD? You didn't have COPD 15 years ago.
No.
It just gradually progressed.
Right. And when it hits you,
It hit you.
Yeah. You don't, it's like mine hit in the spring and
Right.
I kept thinking it was just allergies.
Right.
And it just kept getting worse and worse. And then
Yeah.
I started seeing a pulmonologist and
Yeah.
changing different inhalers, and nothing was helping. Nothing was helping.
Right. Beautiful. You're better now. That's all that matters, right?
I mean, I still do use the inhaler.
Well,
like,
yes.
just
We're not
in the morning or
100%
whatever,
yet. I mean, we're
but
a few months
a
into
lot
it.
less, a lot less.
Yeah.
For sure. And I hardly do breathing treatments.
That's
I'll
great.
do the PMF, and
Right.
I might do one breathing treatment.
Oh, that's another good thing. I'm glad you brought that up. The PEMF. Why are we using that? I want to show this to people because this is really important.
I meant the PRP when I do those.
I understand, but we're going to have you doing the PEMF too, though. So this is the brainstem, and that brainstem is what controls the breathing center, and you put it up on the brain, and it fires to the brainstem. So that's what we're going to be doing with you next.
Right.
And that's going to help you even. We're just keep taking it up a level of healing.
Right.
And
You
that's-
kind of get all the information, and that's what Dr. J kept saying. Well,
Yes.
and I'm asking, well, when do I get this? When am I supposed to get
Exactly.
that? And-
It's a process. She doesn't. She wants it all at once.
Why not?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm feeling better. Give it to me all right now. Okay.
Yep,
Yes.
give me more, give
Yes.
me more.
So
Yeah.
Alice isn't one to first you crawl, then you walk, then you run. Alice wants to start off running, and but I understand because when you're feeling so bad, and basically your option is death. Because you're not going to really survive a lung transplant, as you mentioned. You didn't think she'd get off the table with it,
That's how
and the
they
way
all
she
felt.
looked, I could see that when I first saw her. I mean, you are a 180 from when you were when you first walked in the office, and we're not anywhere near being done helping you.
It was even an effort to just get dressed.
Yeah,
And I would have to, it would take like 2 hours just because
yeah,
I would get so short of breath. And then even to get from the house to the car, and we have one step out of the garage, and
Yeah.
I was gasping by the time I got to the car and wheezing. And
right.
so, yeah, this is,
It's miraculous. It's
85%
amazing. It's
better.
all of the good terms, all of
Yeah.
the good things,
Yeah.
and more to come. That's the
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So thank you, Kathy. I'll send this over to her. I'll email it for bringing your mom.
yes, thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Love you.
Yeah. Thank you, dear.